Hello friends! This has been a really interesting week for me. Instead of staying in my hometown and going about my standard everyday life, I actually took some time off and went up to Minneapolis, Minnesota for NerdCon stories. If you haven't heard, NerdCon was a convention started by Hank and John Green to celebrate the uniquely human characteristic of telling stories. It was fantastic and I loved every minute of it. For those of you who did not get a chance to go, here's a quick taste of what I got.
When I took my glasses off, I could, well, I was about to say I could see less, but obviously I can see less.
That's your theme song from now on.
Just like random chords?
I don't want to scrubs my TLC.
That's my song. I don't want any scrubs. No scrubs for me.
And I pointed at someone, and they said, "Mr. Green, are you aware that your fly is down?" And it wasn't just like, it wasn't down, it was like open.
Now, as someone whose major hobbies all focus on stories in some way, shape, or form, I signed up for the convention the day the registration opened. I thought the idea was fascinating, and the convention totally was. But I'd be lying if I said that was the only reason I signed up, and the other reason is actually what I'd like to talk about today. As I said in my introduction, I've been an avid YouTuber since 2007, and I started watching the Vlogbrothers around March of 2007, back before they had the subscriber boom and there were maybe 300 people watching each video. The Vlogbrothers have been an incredibly important part of my life since that time. So when I found out they were going to be there, I had to go because of course I had to see them, because of course it was way different to see them in real life than it would be to see them in a video. But the thing is that when I was there and Hank Green walked out onto the stage, it really didn't feel any different at all. If I had to guess why, it's probably because I've been watching them since they had such a small audience, so it's really easy for me to see them just as people who make videos. Yes, people I've never met who always seem to have something interesting to say, but people nonetheless. So while it was amazing to see them, it was also kind of just like seeing any other person. That wasn't the interesting part though. The interesting part came later when I was talking to other people who attended NerdCon. I got into so many conversations with people who asked if I'd seen Hank or John Green, or if I'd talked to Hank or John Green, or if I'd gotten a picture with Hank or John Green. Way more than I got in conversations about anything else. And even if I was trying to specifically steer the conversation away from something else, it always got brought back to that. And I soon began to feel like just the mere sight of these two individuals was a sort of commodity. Now, I'm not saying I wasn't ridiculously excited to meet Hank, because I totally was, and I'm pretty sure I came off as a complete dumbass because my excited self started to ramble, as I do in those situations. I completely understand getting excited about that, but that is an important story to me. Other than my family and friends, I don't know why that story would have worth to anyone else. And to make it even more interesting, some people were acting like the commodity of these people's times was actually owed to them. For instance, I heard about a group that was offended because Hank was on his way to a panel and did not stop to talk to them. Even though he did stop to acknowledge their presence, which is probably more than I would have done just because I wouldn't have noticed they were there. But anyway, the fact that they were upset was really interesting to me, because at what point does a celebrity's time stop just being time and start becoming a commodity that people are striving for? At what point is the story of "I met so-and-so on the street" a socially valuable story to have? And at what amount of fame do people stop remembering that our time is our time and start believing that it's something that is owed to them? It's an interesting question. Anyway, I don't think the Vlogbrothers owed us any time, but I really do thank them for giving some to us. If they do NerdCon again, I would really suggest going. Just try not to be weirded out when they just seem like people, because ultimately, they're just people.